Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new spoiler review of the season finale of The Mandalorian on Disney Plus. My name is Max. Before we get into this spoiler review of the season 2 season finale, let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Tell me your predictions for season 3 and possibly a new show that we got teased at the end of this episode. Tell me your overall thoughts. What's one of your favorite episodes, least favorite episodes of the entire show. Please hit that like button. That's the best way to support this channel. Once again, guys, sorry for some technical difficulties heading into this review and some reviews down the road. My computer has an internal crack, basically, and it's getting fixed at the moment. So I'm using another computer right now to film, and I'm trying to find the best ways to get the best background with this new computer. It's not an Apple computer. So I'm doing my best here. So stick with me. Stick with this review, guys, if you're new for the first time, because I do my whole background is usually this picture, but the way I did this, it was tough to do that. So once again, guys, thank you guys so much for joining me. Let's get into these spoilers. Also, if you're new to the channel, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, ring the bell if you like movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and streaming platform reviews. If you like any of those things, please subscribe and ring that bell for some notifications. Let's get into this review. So I was so pumped for this episode, so ready for this episode because these finales can be super epic, but also could be rushed. So it's 45 minutes. I thought it'd be closer to an hour. It is 45 minutes, which is not the longest of the season so far. So, and I assume Favreau was directing this episode, but it was actually Peyton Reed who directed this last episode, who directed episode 2, which was probably my least favorite of the entire season. But I didn't know who directed the episode. I assumed it would be Favreau because he directed the first one, but Peyton Reed does an amazing job. But first, the story is great. We end on such a big cliffhanger last week, and Mando and Gina Carano, they're back. They're looking for more help, and they get it from Bo-Katan and Sasha Banks' character, Casca Reeves, and Boba Fett and Fennec. So they all come together. They kidnap Pershing in Mando, Gina Carano's character, Boba Fett and Fennec capture Pershing in the opening of this episode, who we actually don't see for the remainder of the episode after they land on Moff Gideon's cruiser, which is what happens before that. They go to recruit Bo-Katan, saying that they have the child. Again, she wants literally the dark saber. That's her priority, to restore balance in Mandalore. I think that's very well done. Katie Sackhoff again back. Sasha Banks, who is Mercedes Vernado, she's also fantastic as well in the episode. And they have a nice plan to get onto the cruiser. Boba Fett distracts everyone with Slave One, and that takes the rest of the people onto the cruiser on their nice little Imperial trap. And then Moff Gideon puts the Dark Troopers on, and the Dark Troopers are so intimidating, way more than we've seen. Probably the most intimidating droids we've gotten in Star Wars. A really great job establishing those characters, those droids back in 2 episodes ago when they captured the child. And this episode continues to move on. There's some really badass shooting. All the women basically are Mando's backup. I thought it was really well done. Seeing a lot of women it's great to see women in Star Wars like this, and I think it's very well done by Filoni and Favreau for putting the women center focus a lot of this episode. So basically, Mando says he's going alone to get the child. While that happens, obviously the women take control of the boarding deck, so they basically control the ship. But Moff Gideon starts a bit of a duel with Mando, and he does this on purpose. So he loses the duel to Mando, which gives Mando the Darksaber. And the only way to possess the Darksaber is to lose in a duel. And Bo-Katan then cannot just take it from Mando. She has to defeat Mando in a duel, which is a very fascinating thing that this episode really brings up. So Mando gets to Grogu, gets Moff, brings it to Bo, and he wants just to hand over the Darksaber. But Bo says that she has a lot of pride. She wants to take over Mandalore, so she needs to win over a duel. But we don't get to see that duel because once the Dark Troopers are about to break into the big room, the big reveal happens. Who was that Jedi who Grogu was talking to 2 episodes ago? We find out it was indeed Luke Skywalker, de-aged by Mark Hamill. Back and forth, we get to see the X-Wing fly in. And I was like, the X-Wing, this must be Luke. And then once you see that green lightsaber and his black glove, I mean, chills. I was so frozen. It was so amazing to see Luke Skywalker in this episode of The Mandalorian. He walks up. R2 is also with him, which is a nice little thing, and he is going to train Grogu, which is also very, very fascinating. As we thought, someone would have to train Grogu, and he says, "I have to train him," and then Mando has to give him up because he has to train, and he takes off his mask, so Grogu has to see Pedro Pascal himself for the first time. A really touching, beautiful send-off for both of their characters to each other. Will they see each other again? I hope so. Not really sure where we're going after this. So Luke and R2 and Grogu are off, as we know. With some flashback scenes in The Last Jedi, Luke built up a temple, and that's when it all went wrong for Luke when Kylo took the Knights of Ren and they all destroyed everyone. Question was Grogu a part of that? That is the big overarching. Does Grogu die in Ben Solo's rage over the temple, or does Grogu somehow make it out alive? That is all fascinating things that we're hopefully going to find out soon, but Luke does go off. I believe this is truly a one-off. The de-aging was good enough for me. Did a good job. Mark Hamill, good in the role. And just a really fantastic way to introduce Luke. Is it fan service? Of course it is, but they had some great little moments there between Mando and Grogu that I thought was very, very well done. Yes, there's tons of fan service this episode, but they still have your grounded, really emotional moments with the characters you love that are new that you got from The Mandalorian, like Mando and Grogu's relationship. You also have Fennec. So there's great stuff going on in this episode as well. And while you think the show is over, normally there's no post-credit scenes in Star Wars, especially not in The Mandalorian. I was watching the credits as Peyton Reed names pops up. Really happy to see Peyton Reed direct this good of an episode. But watching it, you were kind of like, they're not showing the artwork, and Disney Plus isn't sending you off somewhere. So I skipped forward, and there is a really a post-credit scene for this episode. And we go back to Jabba's palace. Unbelievable that we're seeing all this stuff in The Mandalorian. And it's we see Bib Fortuna back in his role, and he's as we see, he's kind of running the Jabba's palace 5 years after Return of the Jedi. And I was like, oh my god, Boba Fett's about to take over the Jabba's palace, and Boba Fett and Fennec take over, and Boba's running it. And we end on a book of Boba Fett coming in 2021. I'm not sure if it looks like we're getting a Boba Fett TV series with him running Jabba's palace. I'm so excited to see what they do now. A great post-credit scene. So overall, guys, I really love this episode of The Mandalorian. One of my favorite episodes of the entire season. While they answered so many questions, there's so many questions left unanswered for more seasons and more side shows as well. This season for me was a lot better than season one. I think season one for me, I would give it like a 78% really, if I had to grade it. This season, I would give it a high, like an 88%. I really love this season of The Mandalorian. No really nitpicks this episode. I got to see everything. Will Bo-Katan have to duel out Mando to get the Darksaber back? We have so many unanswered questions, as I said. So before we go, guys, leave me your predictions for season 3 of The Mandalorian, and leave me your predictions for the next spinoff Boba Fett potential show. Let me know all those things in the comments section down below. Also, please like the video as well, subscribe and share. Later, guys, today I'll be watching Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. I'll be reviewing that for this YouTube channel, and again, it might be in this similar fashion. So sorry, guys, for those technical difficulties. Just trying to make the best out of this situation. So stick with me. I'll see you guys in the next one.